Well, I mean, yeah, seeing how we give away millions of dollars, it's yeah. Usually, people are very excited about it. The only hard part for us is, if it's a longer one, just the time off work. So, because sometimes, when we shoot like Beast games or stuff, it can go for a month. But besides the work stuff, of course.
Are there people that haven't been able to do the show because they couldn't get a month off work?
Oh, yeah, tons, of course. So we always have even like the day before, sometimes people get cold feet. So if we're doing something with 100 people, we'll usually have 10 backups just because, the
I would imagine that the type of person that would do your show would have a job that they could quit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it depends, right? Whether it's the YouTube channel where we're, doing, 100 families compete for $250,000, or it's Beast games where they're competing for $5 million. The $5 million, people are way more excited for. Some of the, the YouTube videos, it's not as grandiose. Where they're like, I don't know if I want to lose my job for a 1% chance of winning $250K. So,
well, how many people when you do Beast games? How many people are competing?
So the newest season we just shot, we grabbed one person from every country on Earth. So it was around 200.
Whoa.
Yeah, which was actually pretty cool because you would put them in these crazy games, and you'd see how someone from the Asian, Pacific countries would react versus to someone in South America, and they play and think so differently because they have such different upbringings. So it was really cool.
Did you have to? I mean, you must have had to thoroughly vet these people, right? Make sure they're not insane. Make sure you don't have a serial killer.
We do the psych and background checks, of course. No.
How do you get that information if you're going? I mean, if you have, how many countries are there? First of all, it's 190.
We went off of whatever the Olympics do, so it's like 100, something around 200. Yeah, plus or minus a couple.
So some of them have to have some shitty infrastructure.
Oh, I mean, I think one of them has literally 40,000 people living in it. It was what is it? Not the. Something Sea Islands, not the Cayman Islands. It was, but some island country. And yeah, I was like, wow, my town, which has 100,000 people, is 2.5 times the population of your country. Well, I was joking with the contestant because I was like, if you win the $5 million, you could technically give a $200 dividend to every single person in your country. It's that crazy. It's that little people living there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the kind of country I wonder if you could buy that country.
I mean, the GDP is probably, couple $100 million if I were to guess. So.
Like someone like Elon or something like that could buy
Not
that
even
country.
Elon. There's probably thousands of people in America that could. I mean, I feel bad. People from that country listening.
We didn't say the country.
Okay, true.
We're good. We're good. We didn't say it.
Exactly. It's not yours.
They should know what they are.
Yeah.
They're a country of 40,000 people. That's just what it is. Nothing wrong with that. But it is weird how many countries there are, and if you've got a person from every country, what are the odds you're going to get good data as to whether or not they're a criminal?
Well, that's why, I mean, if you saw our budgets on what I have to spend on casting those people, it was ridiculous to be able to get them all. Because basically what we did is we grabbed multiple options for each country. And what I was worried about is that the contestant from blank country would suck. And then the country would be like, Jimmy, you hate us and you purposely picked this, absolute moron. So we would pick 2 or 3 from each country, and then we let people from those countries vote on who should compete. So it wasn't even one. I had to get multiple from each. So I think I ended up spending over $1 million just on, aggregating and casting and background checks and everything, and then putting it out there so people could vote on it. But that way, whatever, like Georgia and Europe, if that guy's an absolute moron, it's on them. They picked him.
Right. That's actually very smart.
Exactly.
How did you come up with the concept for this show? First of all, how the fuck do you have time to do that show as well as do your YouTube show?
Yeah. I just don't sleep much during those because, Beast Games basically is 30 days of just, 18 hours a day filming. And for people who might not have heard of it, it's essentially the largest cash prize of any show in the world. Season 1, we had the most contestants of any show in the world and the largest sets of any show ever to exist. And I was just like, what if you take a reality show, but you just ramp everything up to the absolute maximum? And like season 1, we gave away $22 million just in one season, right? And, some of the biggest game shows in the world right now give away $250,000. We're giving away $2 million every episode. Yeah,
look at that. That's wild. All those people. That's so crazy. That set's amazing.
Yep.
Dude.
And then we build a city, and so also
holy shit.
My whole thesis behind it with this is when you watch these game shows or reality shows, there's a lot of takeaways, and after the show they'll put people in a room and they'll be like, hey, talk about what happened here, and it's intercut. And I was like, well, what if we just have 1,000 cameras, and we just let people be themselves, and we kind of just show it in real time. So we also, like in season 1, we broke the world record of most cameras ever used in any production of any movie, show, anything ever. So like this set right here, there's over 1,200 cameras in there. And the most
that room is so big.
Yeah, it's bigger than the football field. And so there's 1,000 contestants. We have to have an A cam on all of them. So there's like a pole on each of the platforms on them. Plus there's hundreds of cameras in the roof and blah, blah. I think there's over 1,200 here, which outside of this, the most ever used in production was 400. So like I literally had to, and this might seem insane, but this is why I think the show appeals to quite a few people, because normally in a show, they would have a story producer walk up to you, hold a camera, and be like, all right, you got 3 minutes. You're kind of the bad guy. Say roughly along these lines. Almost basically put words in your mouth. And then they'd go like person to person with like one camera. Whereas I go on the microphone, I go, say whatever the hell you want. We're recording you for the next 10 hours. I don't care, right? And you all have a dedicated camera on you. So then instead of like putting words in people's mouths, they can just do whatever they want.
So do you have someone who actually has to go back and watch all that footage and edit it and then put it all out as a show?
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is why.
How many people do you have doing your editing?
That season, over 150 editors worked on it. Yeah.
Holy shit,
it's crazy.
man.
And that's obviously why people don't do it, because it's like basically we had to spend millions of dollars in cameras. It was the world record for most cameras ever used, which then we also broke the world record for most camera cables used, because it's 27 miles of camera cables. Broke the world record for largest control room. Each of these is millions of dollars, and you have to bring in millions of dollars of extra editors. And so next thing you know, to take it from 10 cameras where you just essentially put words in people's mouths to unlimited cameras, and they can do whatever you want. You can show who they actually are as opposed to what you think they should be, right, with the story producer. It costs a lot of money. It's a lot of effort and time, but it shows through in the final product, because now, you get more natural, like less scripted things when people are just themselves.
You have a great ability to like see the big picture, and a great ability to put together things regardless of what the budget is, like regardless of how much money you're going to make, to do the best product. Like, I always thought that about you when you first started doing your YouTube show. I'm like, the amount of money and time and effort involved in this is like above and beyond what most people are willing to do.
Yep.
And it's way more than a traditional television network would ever do, because a traditional television network would look at the upside. They would look at the money, and they would go, we're going to spend X amount of money to make it this much better, but if we just take it down a couple of notches, we save 80%.
Yeah.
And they would do that. But you're like, can we make it even cooler? Let's put all the money back into the show, which is very risky, man. Because not just very risky, it's just you have great foresight. Like, you really see the big picture of it. Obviously, you have the #1 show in the world. Like, you have the most watched show on Earth. Your YouTube show is the most watched show on planet Earth. So it's obviously working. Yeah. But it's like that ability to make that set must have been bananas. That is a fucking enormous building. Yeah. Did you have to build the building?
No, so that's in Toronto, but it's basically an airport hangar. I mean, we spent months trying to figure out how we could make this. That also is like 1,000 trap doors, because every single one of those, the trap doors open when they get eliminated. So that set alone was like $15 million. I mean, it was crazy.
Oh my God.
And thousands of people's time and stuff like that. It's actually, where we film Beast Games, is actually a pretty big deal, because it creates so many local jobs for people. So,
I'm sure.
Yeah, like there, it was like pretty wild. Every time.
Can you say where you film it, or you keep it on the wraps?
That one was Toronto, Canada.
Okay, cool.
And every time I'd walk around on set, people were loving it, because even though we filmed for 30 days, there's months leading up to it and months after.
Sure.
So it gives people like consistent work for 6 months, whereas like before they're going project to project every week. But yeah, back on the going above and beyond, that's kind of my whole thing, is like, why make content that isn't great? And we just ask ourselves, how do we make the best content possible, as opposed to, how do we make the most money possible? And when you just shockingly going with that approach, you just kind of
make a lot of money.
Yeah. And and also it's I tell my team all the time too, like a big difference between us and other media companies is, usually like people at the top will always shoot down crazy ideas or tell you it's not possible, like whenever you have like these crazy brainstorming sessions. And I tell the team, technically anything's possible. If as humans we really wanted to, we could technically blow up the moon with enough nukes. Now we're not going to do it because it's not worth the time and it's not worth spending the money. But you have to have that frame of mind. Everything's for the most part possible if you're willing to spend the time and spend the money. So before you do the work and just figure out what time it takes and how much money it costs, you can't say no to something. Because almost all the time, like we filmed in the pyramids, and I spent 100 hours living in the pyramids of Egypt. It was fucking awesome. And, for years, everyone's like, they're not going to let you, live in the pyramids for a couple of days. Like, that's crazy. And I'm like, well, why not? Like, did you get a no from the leader of Egypt? No. Then I'm like, well, technically it's possible, and after years of talking with them and helping them understand that, it's going to be more of an educational type video. And it's not like, I'm not going to run up the pyramids and take my shirt off and be like a lunatic. It'll be really cool. Eventually they came around to it and they loved the video and it worked really well. And it's literally like I could go anywhere in the pyramids for 100 hours. I went all the way up to the top of the middle pyramid. We went underneath it. It was really cool. And I tell my team, it's like, even some of my most veteran people, when we get these crazy ideas, their default reaction always is to go, I just don't think it's possible. And I go, look, it is. Sometimes it's just time and money, And is it worth the effort?
The pyramid one must have been nuts.
Oh, it was crazy. It was one of my favorite videos.
Is that your first time ever being there?
Yeah, actually it was. And so that made it even more special because I was learning things at the same time as I was just walking around. And I'm going to be honest, it was a year and a half ago and it's all a little fuzzy because I was so tired. I was just walking around all night, but it was pretty crazy and surreal. And then going down into, what's that tomb called where you go down the ladder and a couple hundred feet? Underneath the pyramid?
I don't know. Is that Osiris's shaft?
Yes, Osiris's. Yeah, and then it was flooded and swimming around under there. It was pretty wild. Yeah.
Wow.
I feel like you should do something like that.
100%. I need to go there. I've been talking about going there for years. For me, it's just a time thing. My time is, I've so many different jobs. It's not like one all-consuming job like you have.
Yeah.
With me, it's commentary for the UFC, doing stand-up comedy, doing the podcast, and also married with children. So I have a lot of responsibilities. So it's tough to just jet off for really, ideally, if you're going to go to Egypt, I feel like you should go for 10 days.
Yeah,
I feel
100%.
like at least 10 days.
Do you think I feel like maybe honestly, realistic, 5 days you could do it. And,
yeah.
And I'm curious though if they'd let you just do a video where you walk around and go everywhere because
I wonder.
Yeah, because
I've talked a lot of shit.
Exactly. So, without saying it, I'm kind of implying I don't even know if they want you there.
Well, I never have said anything bad about it.
Yeah.
I just think that the people that run it have a very narrow-minded perspective of how all that stuff was made, and I don't think they really know. And I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in terms of what the official narrative is.
Yeah.
As how it was all made and who made it and what it's all about. That's why they're really hesitant to accept any alternative perspectives because they have a timeline and they attribute all this construction and there's a lot of evidence that timeline doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Did you check out the Sphinx?
Yeah, and you can go underneath it and go in that little room.
Yeah. Did you do that?
Yeah, which that's the stuff I feel like it would mean even more if you did. You've talked to Dr. Zahi, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you have him on the show?
Yeah, I had him
Okay.
on the show.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. And so he's obviously the guy, so you should just call him and see.
Yeah, I'd rather go with somebody else. I'd rather.
I didn't listen to that episode.
I'd rather go hang out with one of the historians that I know.
Graham Hancock?
Yeah, Graham Hancock would be the perfect guy to go with.
Yeah, you and Graham Hancock walking around, oh boy, there'd be some crazy stuff said.
Yeah, well, whatever happened in that part of the world during that time frame is pretty spectacular. And it's kind of amazing that no one has ever achieved anything even remotely similar to it since.
Yeah.
And it's at least 4,500 years old. And that's just a guess, though. They really don't know.
Yeah.
It's a crazy place. The fact that you got to film a show there is nuts.
Yeah. I love how you call it show, and to me it's just a YouTube video, but it's just funny.
It's a show.
Yeah, I know, of course. And it makes sense because you do stuff with the UFC, and in your world, a lot of it's called shows. But
I mean, whatever it is people are watching it.
Yeah, I know.
It's
just funny to me. I haven't heard it called that in years. But yeah, that one was crazy. And I mean, one thing that I'm really proud of that we did for season 3 of Beast Games, which in hindsight, I'm not even sure how this one we pulled off. So I want to see your reaction to this.
Okay.
So basically, the finale where we have the $5 million we have the final contestants. We filmed it in the Roman Colosseum.
Whoa.
Yeah, we crowned the winner of season 3 with the $5 million cash prize in the middle of the Roman Colosseum. played the first game there in over 1,000 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, I'm so grateful. I like we just filmed that too, so I'm like coming off the high, and I just like it almost makes gives me tears. Like what we shot was so cool. We had like a live orchestra at like the top ring of there too. So like as the game got dramatic, we would have them like play louder music and stuff. It was like so surreal. Like there's multiple, because I've done really crazy things in my life, but there's multiple moments during that where I'm just like looking around in the middle of the Coliseum as we're like filming the show, and I'm like this doesn't feel real. It was pretty wild.
It doesn't feel. I mean, I went just to visit a few years back, and it didn't feel real. It's so strange to imagine like what that was like.
Yeah.
You know, how many thousand years ago? What year were they doing the games in the Roman Colosseum?
I would guess 1,900 years ago.
So, I mean, what the fuck was it like being in there while that was happening?
And imagine when they flood it and they'd have the ships in there. It's like, whoa, I know.
Crazy.
I know. And
It's nuts that you could go walk around it and just try to understand, like, this used to be a place where people used to go to see people die.
Yeah.
They used to see people get hacked to death by swords, to see people get killed by lions.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was...
Well, it's also interesting, too, because I did a lot of research, before we filmed there. And it also did a good job of, back then they had, like, the hierarchy and, like, the nobles people would sit at the bottom and the poor people be at the top. And it also played, like, a good role of, like, showcasing unity, even though there are all these different people from all these different, economic statuses. They would all be in the arena there, but also remind them where they are. And there's, like, so many political implications of it, too.
Yeah.
And so just everything about it.
Like
is
basketball
crazy.
games. Right? Who gets courtside tickets?
I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, courtside tickets.
Or Jay-Z
famous
or whoever.
people. Yeah, courtside tickets.
True.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's the same thing. I think in the Coliseum, though, that was the most dangerous seats because, like, there was a couple of incidents, I believe, when either a lion or a tiger leapt up and got a hold of some people.
Yeah. Well, I didn't hear about that, but when I was walking around, they would have the, emperor, like, seat right there. And I was like, man, if I was a warrior, I could throw a spear at him. Like, this is a killer view, but like, how did no one ever just kill this guy?
Right.
I was like, that's all I could think about. It's like, this is a little too close to the battlefield.
How close is it?
It was like, 4 rows up. It wasn't like anything too crazy. But like, there's like obviously walls when you're walking around, like little walls, so you can't just, walk into the stand. So they're like kind of trapped in the arena, but it was definitely within spear throwing distance.
I wonder how long it took to build that place. Because when you're walking around, you're like, this is an epic piece of real estate. Like, look, you guys built like an insane structure, and they did it, almost 2,000 years ago or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it took 8 years to build.
Wow.
From AD 72 to AD 80.
Yep.
Wow. Construction started under Vespasian between AD 70 and 72. It was completed and inaugurated under Emperor Titus around AD 79 to 80. So the main build phase lasted roughly 6 to 8 years.